Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my super late review for Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 146. Alright, these last couple weeks have been busy, which is why my reviews keep getting just consistently late, but hopefully I'll be able to last a couple more weeks, because there's only a couple episodes left. Oh yeah, let me just get into it. First things first, Gon sees Gang, alright? And he goes down the gang. And the first thing he does, after searching for this dude for years and years and years, the first thing he does is apologize for Kite, which was, I found that interesting. I mean, it fits Gon, so that's oh man, gang, this dude looked annoyed the entire time, alright? Like, the entire time. He had that look on his face, like, oh, when will it stop? Why is this happening to me? Why? And eventually, Gang just kind of sets him straight. It's like, no, why are you apologizing to me for? Just apologize to Kite, alright? And he goes to leave, but then you realize, so wait a second. If I leave, this dude might leave as soon as I leave, then I won't be able to see him again. So he goes and asks, like, are you going to stick around until I get back? That way we can talk later. Alright? And we all knew the answer to that question. We all knew he was going to skip town as soon as Gon was out of sight. We all know that, alright? But the crowd started booing him and, like, and chanting things and stuff, and eventually he just had to say, okay, fine, I will. Alright? They just were not going to take no answer. This dude was like, yeah, I'll fight all of you if you want me to. Let's go. Alright, so that was funny. But eventually we did get back to the election. Alright, and Cheadle, she tried to pull a fast one. Pariston. This dude Pariston is the master of the fast one. Alright. This dude told Gon that freaking Netero is on an extended vacation. And that's why they were voting for another chairman. Alright. Hey, well, and he ends up telling Gon that he can't leave until he casts his vote for either himself, Pariston, or for Leorio. And Gon ends up picking Pariston because Leorio is going to be a doctor, therefore he can't be chairman. And Leorio then votes for Pariston as well, and that just kind of seals the deal. At that point, you just knew that Pariston was going to win. Alright. And he does in fact win, and after that he makes Cheadle his vice chairman, which is kind of for the same reason that Netero made Pariston his vice chairman. Kind of. Well, I guess she would be a chairwoman, vice chairwoman, but kind of the same reason, because, well, not really. It's like he made Cheadle his vice chairwoman for the same reason that he accepted being vice chairman for Netero, because he wanted to screw around with Netero, alright? And Cheadle wants to screw around with him, so he's like, alright, sure, I'll make you my vice chairman. Give me the best you got, alright? Because I know I'm not afraid to put you in your place again. I'm not afraid to go all out against you, alright? So yeah, Cheadle, new vice chairwoman, Pariston, new chairman. So yeah. Now after casting his vote, Gon goes to leave, and before he leaves, Gang goes up to him and says that Kite had like his net ability was like the roulette thing, you know, and apparently one of the numbers that he has was some ability that would keep him alive. So Kite turning into a little girl is not because of the Chimera ants or anything like that. It's because of his net ability. So I remember people talking about this online once, because I was kind of spoiled to this fact, which it's not much of a spoiler, so I didn't really think it was that big of a deal that they spoiled me, but I remember people talking about this and saying that Kite is actually kind of a bad person because he made Gon and Killua and all them worry this entire time the entire time that he was dead, when in reality he knew he had an ability that would keep him alive. So, yeah, I don't really know what the point of me mentioning that was, to be honest. It's just I just threw it out there for thought, see what you guys think. Um, but yeah, Kite had an ability that would keep himself alive. Um, and when Gon and Leorio, they're in the car, they're on their way. Gon tells Leorio that he wants to apologize to Killua, alright, because of the way that he acted around Pito and how he was kind of just treating Killua like crap. And I was thinking, like, if he wants to apologize for that, imagine how much he would want to apologize if he found out exactly what his condition was like before he got healed, and the fact that it was Killua who did heal him and bring him back to normal. Alright, so, again, Leorio, he's not telling Gon that Killua was the one that saved him, so that's good for him. We all know Killua doesn't like people thanking him and apologizing and all this stuff because they're friends, so they should just be doing that stuff normally. But yeah, the rest of the episode focused on Killua and Alka. Alright. Though we start with Illumi. Why did I get Illumi from? That's because I'm reading the regular Magic High School light novels, and the last part I read involved the Illumi. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay. The point is that we got Illumi here, and he's thinking about Alka, and he's trying to figure out exactly how Alka's power works, because he's thinking about how Miluki, the last person who used Alka's power was Miluki, and he did it to get a computer. Like before this arc started, the last person who used it was Miluki. All right, and he used it to get a computer. And the next requests that Alka made were to play dead and to get a pat on the head, which is kind of easy for getting a computer. However, Killua's two-part wish, which ended in a kiss on the cheek, the price for the next request then were fingernails, which is way too much for a kiss on the cheek. All right, so and he's thinking like the price of the fingernails, that's more for the computer, doesn't it? Like that fits the computer more. So he thinks that the whole playing dead pat on the head thing, they weren't requests from something, but rather requests from Alka. So the whole fingernail, he thinks that the wish that Killua made did not require a payment afterwards. Therefore, the requests that were made after that were actually the requests for the computer, and Killua just like skipped over it. All right, and he starts thinking about the way Killua phrased his wish, and he realizes that it's actually that's the command. And he wasn't making a wish, he was making a command. Alright? And he takes the knowledge he has deduced from commands, and he decides that commands are in fact different than wishes, not just because the price you have to pay for them is different, if existent at all. Like you might not have any price to pay at all for commands, but he says that if Alka was in fact the person who granted Killua's wish, had it been a wish, then something could not have reacted because it was Alka granting the wish. However, something did react. Therefore, it couldn't have been a wish. It had to have been related to something, but it couldn't have been related to something because there were no requests made up. So the point is that Illumi found out that commands and wishes. He found out that commands exist, and he found out that commands are different from wishes. Okay, and he tells all that to Killua. All right, and he says that he wants to get control over Alka, and that Killua should give him control over Alka, because at least that way she will have some type of freedom instead of just being locked away in a basement with some toys. All right, like she was before. All right, and Killua's just not having any of that. He's really not, and he commands something to wake up, and then he sends Illumi away. All right, he sends him back home, just like that. Boom, done. All right, now it's that. Then he tells Amane, he asks Amane and Subone if they can leave as well, and says if you don't, I can just have you guys sent back too. So they're like, okay, all right, fine, we'll leave. The Subone was, we saw later, she was behind the corner just listening to everything. All right, but Killua ends up telling something to not come out anymore. All right, because something is the reason why Alka would be locked up. And it says, you know, okay, all right, fine. It wasn't very happy about it because something loves Killua, you know, but did it anyway because it was for Killua. However, when Alka wakes up, he's not satisfied with that. All right, and I knew something like this was going to happen. I could just tell. I was watching, and I just had this feeling like this is not going to go the way he thinks it is. All right, this is not going to go the way Killua thought it was. Something's going to happen where Alka's going to turn on him or something like that. Like I was even preparing myself for Alka to like attack Killua. Like that's how extreme I was thinking. But it wasn't that big of a turn. It was just like she got mad at him because they're like the two, Alka and something are like a package deal, and Alka doesn't like the fact that Killua is trying to treat something one way, then treat Alka a different way. Alright, so Alka's saying, no, you gotta treat us both the same. You either hate us both or you love us both, but you can't mix and match. So, yeah. Killua ends up bringing something back out, making up, and I personally just didn't care. I just didn't care. Personally, I don't like when characters like slap themselves. I just don't like it. I just can't take it seriously. I just don't like when characters do that. I really don't. Or they'll punch themselves or something. I just don't like that. I think it's stupid. Especially when it's like this serious atmosphere and all of a sudden they go like I just don't like it. I just don't like it at all. And it certainly didn't help matters that something had those like freaking scribbly crazy eyes and crap. I just could not take a bit of this seriously. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. But in the end, it did get those restrictions lifted off of him, like all that stuff all those restrictions they added him, like he can't tell people about Alka's powers, people can't see Alka. They get all those restrictions got lifted, so that's good. I guess that's something good to come out of it. The preview showed Alka meeting Gon, Alka being with Killua and meeting Gon. I would assume that Alka is going with them now, is going to be a part of the main group, but I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't really fit, you know. Like now all of a sudden we're going to have Gon, Killua, and Alka traveling everywhere, and Alka with the way Alka, I just can't see her. What if we have another Chimera Ant arc, you know, and you know these Chimera, some powerful foes appear, and what is Alka gonna do? Like, Alka can't fight back. Like, you know, like Killua, the only way Alka would be able to fight back is if something came out and Killua would just start issuing commands left and right. Get rid of them. Now get rid of them. Now get rid of them. You know, that's like, I don't know. I find it hard to imagine that Alka would be joining up with the main team and traveling with them wherever they go next. However, at the same time, if Alka doesn't go with him and kind of just disappears after this, kind of like every other side character that's been introduced in every other arc, like Wing and what's the kid's name? His name starts with a Z. The kid who was with Wing, who was learning Nen with Gon and Killua, or the dudes from Greed Island. Biscuit, whose only purpose was to teach them and train them, and she has done pretty much nothing else. I mean, there's so many people. I just don't want Alka to fall into that group of people whose only purpose are to make cameos during Hunter exams and elections and crap. You know, like I don't want her to fall into that group, or him, or whatever. Especially since it would essentially just make Alka a giant plot device in order to get going back to normal. All right. And the worst part about it is that if Alka does join up with the main crew, and if Gon does in fact find out that Alka was the one that saved him, they could actually just take advantage of Alka's powers and have Gon go all out like that again and again and again and again and again. All right, so I'm not really sure. I don't really like that. So I guess either way, it's a lose-lose situation with Alka. Either Alka disappears and it's just pretty much confirmed as a giant plot device, or Alka stays with the group and then things just get weird. Like how is this going to work? Like almost cheating. Like it's almost cheating to keep Alka with them. Like actually, I don't know. I trust Togashi in that he'll do something. We still have a couple episodes left. We still have to set a goal for like what the new arc is, because the manga's back in Jump Rope. Oh, not really, because Togashi's got back pain. So the manga isn't even running right now. Togashi, man, this dude. Anyway, Togashi, he's gotta, the next two episodes they gotta kind of change the directions. They gotta finish up tying up these loose ends, get going to Kite, and then get going back to Ging so that they can talk while also giving them a new goal for the next arc, whatever's going on right now. So I'm interested in seeing what direction Togashi takes this in. But as for this episode, I'll just give it a 6.5 out of 10. Thought it was okay. The parts with Illumi were the best parts, when he was just like deducing everything. But other than that, I mean, there was progression made because the chairman was finally elected. But I mean, it's not much, you know. Killua and Alka were just like, I just wasn't feeling it. I just was not feeling it. But yeah, that's that, you guys. I'll give the episode a 6.5 out of 10, and that's that. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.